Hey, everybody. Apparently, being holed up with the flu for 2 days has really made me want some human interaction along the lines of Facebook, which is always pretty dangerous. However, as I just said to someone on Facebook, half the time it's talking to a brick wall, and the other half it's preaching to the choir. I got into it with some homeschooling people today because they're freaked out that the government is telling them that they can't homeschool. And one of them, during her course to find homeschooling things about the country of Sweden, found something I don't understand that people are being forced to send their children to schools in Sweden or something like that. Basically, so then I kind of came back with this idea that the Nordic countries are basically awesome, and that they give people free health care, and people over there speak more than one language, and they give people month-long vacations, servers, baristas, everyone there kind of gets free vacations. They encourage people to do the arts, and there's no death penalty, no one carries guns. Kind of went on this whole thing about, how awesome the Nordic countries are, that I would rather have this government than their government. Then somehow uh, that got translated to, at one point someone said the old line, well, if you love Sweden so much, why don't you get a one-way ticket? Which I think is hilarious. The old, like, if you don't love America, get out. As if I can't, not like things in America and want to change them. Although I'll tell you what, if I could get dual citizenship here and somewhere else, I would do it in a heartbeat. I'm so jealous of people who like are Canadian, like legitimately Canadian American, or born in Germany or France or whatever. I just think that's amazing. I wish I could have that, but I don't. And someone says something about the American dream that gets brought up. And I just said one sentence. I said the American dream is a farce. Capital letters. FARCE. Farce. And someone, wow. They were surprised that I said that. Wow. 'Cause it is. 'Cause it is. Um, so I understand. I've studied sociology. The American dream, and you know what? I'm going to read from Wikipedia, because then later I get told that the American dream is not the two-car garage, the house, the white picket fence. It's to live as you see fit. That is not what the American dream is. So instead of giving you my interpretation, I'm going to read the wiki, because I can find you other more scholarly, and I know wiki, is not the most scholarly, but it's a place to start. It's not me. It's not my opinion. It's at least we're going to go to a sort of neutral, and it's not a different website. It's not like IHateTheAmericanDream.com. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like left wing, right wing. The American dream is a national ethos of the United States, a set of ideals in which freedom, so there's freedom in there, includes. So our freedom is definitely in there, right? So it's freedom to do what? Includes the opportunity for prosperity and success, and upward social mobility achieved through hard work. In the definition of the American dream by James Truslow Adams in 1931, quote, life should be better and richer and fuller for everyone, with opportunity for each, according to ability or achievement, regardless of social class or circumstances of birth. The idea of the American dream is rooted in the United States Declaration of Independence, which proclaims that all men are created equal, and that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, including life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It's changed. So it kind of talks about, the whole moving west thing. It's opportunity for one's children to grow up and receive a good education and career without artificial barriers. It's the opportunity to make individual choices without the prior restrictions that limited people according to their class, caste, religion, race, or ethnicity. Um, so, that being said, uh, so that is not, that's not me. That is what I'm reading here. Most Americans perceive a college education as the ticket to the American dream. Home ownership, as I talked about the two-car garage and the white picket fence, not making that up. In the United States, home ownership is sometimes used as a proxy for achieving the promised prosperity. Ownership has been a status symbol separating the middle classes from the poor. So, now that we know that that's not Jocelyn, I didn't make that up, that's the American dream, at least according to Wikipedia. I could grab some other things, but at least we've got that established. It's a lie. It doesn't exist. There are people here in the United States, many of them. I feel like people like to put it on black people. Like black people are the only people who are poor and uneducated, and we kind of put this inner city thing on it. Nope. There's tons of poor people in the South, in the white ghettos, if you will, Appalachia, and in Arkansas, and Oklahoma, and Texas, and Wisconsin, and Minnesota, and the Plains, and all over. There's plenty of white poor people who are uneducated and ignorant. And when I say ignorant, I mean like don't know stuff. Like not ignorant like you're like have poor manners, although some of that comes with it, and get arrested and stuff. I'm talking about like aren't educated, don't know things, don't have a good education. And so it doesn't matter. It's all races, it's all ethnicities, it's everywhere in this country. It happens everywhere. And so I don't believe that it's sure, people have an opportunity. There are always people who are going to break free somehow. They're going to be the exception to the rule. And as I said on my post, yep, there's going to be people who make the NBA, and they make it to the NFL, and they make it to Major League Baseball. But they're outliers. That rarely happens. Even if you're a really good athlete, that rarely happens. That's like the lottery. So we can't count on that. We can't say, well, look, see, they pull themselves up by their bootstraps, so the American dream works. Nope, it doesn't. And when you get stuck in that, if your parents aren't educated, they don't know, and so they're stuck either working a bunch of jobs or, they don't know how to educate you, and then you're stuck in a place where the education is poor. I'll talk about the inner city of Chicago because that's where I am right now. Look, 50 public schools just got closed. And there's places in Chicago where you can really, honestly, get killed on your way to school. So I'm not exactly sure like how easy it is then to really get the kind of education that's going to lead you to get a college education, that's going to lead you to get a really good job, that's going to lead you to get a decent amount of money, that's going to lead you to get this house or to lead you to be in network with the kind of people that are going to teach you about the kinds of things that are going to lead you to kind of be in the kind of arena that are going to put you in the realm of this American dream. So it's a lie. It's a farce. It doesn't exist. And or if you even go back 40, 50 years, you have a whole class of people. You have black people who couldn't vote, were separated in different schools, who were being, lynched and mobbed and threatened. So all these people, right? This is that part of America who are still, are being like lagged behind as, this is only 40, 50 years ago. I love how people like because civil rights happened, act like, well, that's cool, right? Everything's cool, right? And then wonder why, there's a portion of society that still struggles to some extent, you know, and kind of is like, it's good, right? Everything's good. Everything's fine. We're all good, right? Everything's cool. Everything's fine. The black president, right? Everything's cool. It's like, no, everything's not cool. Like, racism exists. Um, so it's not true. It's not true that we're all equal. Yes, we're all created equal. The Declaration of Independence is an amazing document, and if we lived by it, it would be amazing. Like, if we all got health care, if we were all created equal and we got to have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, so that we all didn't have to worry about what happened if we got sick, that would be great. Or if we all got a free college education, so we all could learn together, and if we wanted to do that, or if people got money to go to, if you wanted to apprentice or do, learn a trade, that'd be great. Created equal, we all got that. That'd be fantastic. That's not how it is. And if you're born into a family that has the money to take care of that for you, you're going to start here. Your American dream opportunity is going to start here. So your dream is already great. And someone else's dream is a fucking nightmare. So it's not true. The American dream is not true. It doesn't exist. It's great. It's a nice premise. But it doesn't exist. And the military came up somehow because I said the American dream was a lie. I all of a sudden was disrespecting anyone who served in the military and died. Don't know how that is true. Not sure. Confused about that. And so I went on to say that actually a lot of people, so at best, there are people who died for our freedom. There were some wars, World War II, crazy Hitler, where people died for freedom, right? We went over, we helped out, though we waited a long time, we helped out to save people, we fought for freedom, liberty, justice for all. But recently, a lot, people are dying for nothing, fake wars, greed, lies, politics, bullshit. And that, to me, is disrespectful. That's despicable. It's disgusting, And here's the thing, in my opinion, a lot of people actually go into the military to get their piece of the American dream. They're poor or lower middle class, and they don't have the money for an education, or they don't see a career in their future in a kind of a dead-end town, or maybe shit's going bad, like with drugs and alcohol, and or possibly they see it could go bad, like all their friends are doing it or whatever, so they go into the military, and they see that as like a good career move or whatever. It could be. If you stay in the military, it could be a career move for you. And so some of those people die, or they're, severely injured, or they come back and they're fine on the outside, but they're really messed up on the inside. They have mental issues, or then they have mental issues and they come back and they self-medicate, or they have a hard time with their family, or they have a hard time getting a job, and that is terrible. And then our government doesn't even treat them very well, they don't take care of them, and they don't give them good health care, and they don't give them the money that they said they give them, or they don't give them the money to go to college or whatever. They have to fight for it, even though they just spent a really long time fighting for our government, fighting for the wars, and said that they said that they that they signed up to do, that they did without question, and that made people mad, because somehow many people, the fact that I said many people do that, that means all people do it, But in the scheme of things, in the grand scheme of things, the person who got the maddest about that, she's not rich. She might not be poor, but she's not rich. And I'm talking about rich people. I don't see too many rich people. I know a couple, whose kids maybe have gone into the military. But I don't see too many really, really rich people's kids going into the military. You know? I mean, if they enacted there's a reason they don't enact the draft again. Even though, recruiting's down and the numbers are low and when, a couple of years ago they really needed people, it's not like Congress went and said, you know what, let's enact the draft again. Yeah, because they didn't want their kids going, although I'm sure they would have found ways to get out of it, but you know what I mean? I don't see, because those people have jobs, they have ins. They don't need to find ways, to get this money and the American dream and houses and good jobs and educations. They're in. They're in. So it's a lie. It's a lie that we all have an equal chance. It's a lie that we all start off at the same spot on the track. It's a lie that we all have the same opportunities. It's a lie. The American dream is a lie. Now, if you work hard and do your best, that's great. I'd like to think that you'll do well and good things will come to you because I believe in that for the universe. But I don't believe that if you line up 5 people that they all have to work as hard. I don't believe that. I don't. I know it. I've seen it. I don't believe that. I know that this guy over here might not have to work hard at all. And this person might have to work her ass off and might still never get into the same places that this person over here gets into without having to lift a finger. Now, spiritually, what do you do with that? What kind of acceptance do you come to? What do you do with that with your own personal life? That's a, topic for another video. But this topic is the American dream. It's a lie. It doesn't exist. Maybe it did at some point. Maybe it did in 1950. But today, in 2014, it's not here. Sorry to disappoint.